What's going on, everybody? It's Josh here with Poor Boys, bringing you this week's What's Sold video. It's where I like to give you a quick little rundown of everything that's sold over the weekend for me. So ideally you can see what's selling, how much I'm selling it for, and ideally it'll help you grow and develop your business itself. I also go over tips and tricks if I find any along the way that'll help you and help me. And I'm more than happy to share everything I learned. So this week I actually have a phenomenal tip, and it comes with kind of a long story. So before I get into what's sold, I'm going to go over this tip because I think if you're an eBay reseller, this is detrimental to you. So I'll kind of go over it and I'll explain how I got there. So I preach consistency, and the reason I preach consistency is because when something changes in your business, it's easier for you to determine and find what it was. Well, over the last 2 weeks, I've had that happen to me. I went from selling on average, 7-8 items a day, down to some days I was selling 1 or 2 items over the last 2 weeks. It's been absolutely horrific. It pretty much exploded my sales for the negative, and I was pretty sad, down on my luck, and it kind of beat me down. So I spent many hours trying to figure out, basics. Is it the items I'm currently listing, stuff like that. With used clothing, it's always going to be variable items. I don't list the same items over and over again. Eventually I'll get to that point where I'm listing a lot of repetitive stuff, but majority of everything I have is different. But it's consistent in that it's all mall brands between the prices of $15 to $35 on average. Clean items. I try to get hole free, stain free, stuff like that. So I do have some consistency there as far as the items, but it's not the same item, so there's never going to be full consistency. So I spend a lot of time, analyzing those aspects of it. Pricing, I always price my stuff at the top end of the market, and I slowly walk it down in the following months. And there's a few other things like that I've been doing consistently, and along with my ad rate, which I was doing like a 3%, 5%, kind of consistent ad rate across everything. Over the last few weeks, I've kind of been toying around and messing with it a little bit. So that was my first thought. It was the promotion rates. And as you can see from my previous video, I jacked up a week's worth of items to 20%. It drastically increased my impressions and everything like that, which was good. With that research that I've been doing slowly over time, it tends to fade out anyways, even though you jack the promotion rate up to a significantly higher amount. The impressions still kind of trickle down and dwindle down after a while. As well, I didn't notice any particular huge increase in sales whatsoever. So what I'm seeing a lot now, and a lot of people are posting about it, is when someone lists something or they go to search something, a lot of other things are popping up. And I think that's what the promotion rate and ad rates are specifically designed for. So if you wanted to sell something and you list it with no promotion rate, you're pretty much only going to get the buyers that are almost looking exactly for what you have, and yours still needs to rank somewhere in there based on price and quality, stuff like that. And your seller percentages are also important. So based on your track record, whether or not eBay wants to show you first or second or third. Raising up the promotion rate, I think it expands into a broader categories. So say if I put 20% on a North Face hoodie, for example, when somebody searches North Face shirt, it's more likely to show my hoodie because I have such a high promotion rate. They're trying to eagerly sell it for me. But that doesn't necessarily going to increase my sales because the person that entered the search may be looking for a North Face shirt, not a hoodie. So some key things to take in there. I've pretty much lowered most of my listings back down to like a 3 to 5% promotion rate. And I think that's just where I'm going to keep it at. Because previously, as I was running my promotion rates, I could see the gradual increase and the climb. So when you're looking at the graph, it was going up. That's all I want to see. That means I'm doing it right and I'm staying somewhat consistent. So for me, more than anything, I just want to achieve the consistent gradual growth, and the variable rates aren't helping out with the sales part of it. They're increasing my impressions significantly, but my sales are still staying the same, and I'm losing a higher percentage on a lot of the items I do sell. So I'm kind of getting away from that, but that was not the problem that I had. Over the last probably month, I've been doing eBay has a automated offer setting. So whenever you go to send out an offer to somebody, there's a little button on your website, and I'll show it up here. And then also on your phone, there's a little thing you can do where it'll automatically send out offers for you. And on a quick glance, me being the guy that's trying to automate as much as I can, I've been doing that over the last, few weeks. I've been consistently, setting them to auto send, which I thought was good on my side. But one of the thought processes that I had over the last week of why my sales had damaged so much is eBay does pay attention to your activity, how active you are online, and how often you're available, I guess, when a customer needs you or wants your item. So I started to think maybe the automated settings aren't showing me as active because since it's automatically sending out the offers. So I started doing more research on the offers and stuff like that, and I'll show the eBay's actual information that they have on the automated offers. And it turns out they actually, once you send out that first offer, if somebody, watches the item an hour later, they won't get an offer sent out for 48 hours. So it's kind of a big miss there. With sales, it's the first to contact, the first to contract, whether you're in the mortgage industry, the car industry, any other industry out there. You want to be the first one to talk to that client. You want to be the first one to get that offer in front of them. So if they look at my shirt, they like it, but it's $20 and they, it's a little bit high for them, and they start looking at other shirts, if they immediately get an offer from me, say for 18, they'll be like, oh dang, 18, all right, I'll just go ahead and buy that one. I'll stop searching and just go ahead and buy it. So I have a pretty high percentage of offers accepted and offers sent out accepted. That is the majority of my sales. So anyways, after researching this and finding out more information on it, I honestly think that was detrimental to my failure over the last few weeks. So in order to get all of these items from auto sending is actually a pretty complex and tedious little task where you have to do each one individually. And I had about 300 and so automatically sending offers. So going one by one, I the first night, I think it was Thursday night, I deleted about 160 of them from the automated sending offers. Whenever I finished and went back into my portal just to look at it, I had 16 available to send offers. So there's 16 of them that were just hanging out in there out of that 160 that had offers readily available that I could send out. So I immediately sent out a bunch of them, and my sales almost dramatically increased through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So yesterday I was back at normal almost. It was kind of crazy. Still have about another 100 to go through and remove from the automatic offers, which is going to be huge. But I think any of you guys that are sending automated offers, you should definitely think about that, because it might be right for some businesses, but it's definitely not right for all. And I don't think it's right at all for clothing, where I think the majority of sales are based on offers accepted and sent out. So just think about that. That was a huge one for me. I'm talking about one sale a day with 1,200 items listed. That's a pretty big setback for me. And the last few weeks have been pretty brutal trying to get new inventory with only having 1 or 2 sales a day. It's pretty much drained me. I'm almost out of everything here, but ideally I had a great weekend. I'm gonna take some of this money. I'm gonna hit the stores hard this week. If any of you guys also have local thrift stores and stuff, make sure you're following them on their Facebook pages, because most of them are trying to compete with Amazon and all the big box stores for Black Friday. So they're all running some kind of deals. Some of the local ones here are running $2 to $3 clothing item days. So I'm definitely going to be checking that out and seeing what I can snag. I'm guessing they have selected lots that they're going to let run for those prices, but we'll see. I'll go get them. So first thing, I sent out a few things Saturday morning. Like always, I try to get everything out as quickly as possible, but I still want to cover them with this video just so you know what it is. The first one was this vintage Jimmy Buffett all over print shirt, extra large, single stitch. The tag was actually ripped out of the back. I did a little more research on it. It was made by Giant. It's pretty easy to figure it out. This thing sold quickly as soon as I listed it for $58. This is a pretty, not common, but it's not uncommon. You can find these. I picked this up off of Whatnot, off of a live stream seller pulling from bundles. So I picked it up probably $15-$20, sold it for $58. Pretty happy with that. Next one is this J. Crew chore jacket. It's the same, the corduroy collar. I don't know why that's my style right now, but I love selling these things. This one sold for $40, and this is a youth that sold for $40, so I'm pretty happy with that. Can't complain, and that's definitely something to keep your eyes out for while you're out looking. Next, I have this Jay and Silent Bob hoodie. Show some pictures of it here. This is actually nothing crazy. It's just a very simple hoodie that was given out at an event, I guess. But the pocket on the front, it has the normal pocket like a hoodie does, but these are actually stitched shut on the side, and it's made to be a kangaroo pouch. So it's stitched closed on the sides, and everything's just right in the middle, kangaroo pouch style. It's kind of cool. That's sold at an international buyer for $29.65, which is pretty good. Next, I have this Callaway quarter zip. I've been finding a lot more of the golf quarter zip polos and stuff lately. The jackets, just the soft fleece, soft shells. This sold pretty quickly as well. It's probably been listed for less than a month, $15, nothing crazy. I think I had it listed for 19 or 20. I accepted 15 on it. Like I said, they're pretty common for me to find. They have a few little, you might have a few snags somewhere. That's not a major issue for any golfer or anything like that. If it has big stains, then they might stay away from it. But next, I have this lime green Mariners jersey, baseball jersey. I've been picking up jerseys for a while now, and I haven't had a lot of luck selling them, but I sold 2 over the weekend, so maybe they're picking back up. This sold for $38. I picked it up at St. Vincent de Paul. I got 3 shirts for $6 and like 52 cents, and that was one of them. And I sold this one for $38.88. So that one redeemed all that money, plus gave me more money to buy more shirts with. So that's the kind of stuff you got to look out for. Next is the soft, this is a Stratus Boats long sleeve fishing shirt. It's a very lightweight, you know, you guys see it, UPF protecting fishing shirts. These are really popular, and I do pretty well with it. This one only sold for $12, but it's Stratus Boats. It's nothing special. You find these in Huck, Guggen Squad, you know, the fishing style, fishing brands. You'll do a lot better than this one in particular. But this still sold for 12 bucks. I picked it up probably $1. So I'm okay with that. Next was this Ralph Lauren shirt, women's. It's Ralph Lauren Sport, which is actually a pretty good brand, and the shirt's pretty nice too. I picked it up in the, my chair is just deflating on me. Is that weird? My chair repair guys, do I need to tighten something up here? Let me know. Not a bad little shirt. I think they call this, I don't know if it's buffalo or not. I think it has to be red to be buffalo, right? It's kind of like a red pink color. Pretty decent little shirt. I picked it up, brought it home, and when I was picturing it up, I noticed that it had some light pit stainings. So I lowered the price down pretty cheap and sold it, I think, accepted best offer, 10 bucks, pretty quickly though. So I'm not even mad about it. Next one here. This is definitely one to be on the lookout for. This is the vintage LL Bean. I think I did this in my last video. I think I sold this like either, 2 weekends ago, I guess. Well, anyways, the customer returned it because it was too small. It is an extra large, but it has probably been washed and it's vintage, so it fits rather small. Actually, I want to say it fits a little bit smaller than I am myself, but it is lamb's wool, very nice. It's got the plaid on the inside here and the more vintage tag, you can tell. But anyways, I got this back on Thursday. I went ahead and inspected it, made sure everything was good, cleaned it up, relisted it, and it sold, I think, Saturday morning for $31. So it's pretty nice. And the guy who returned it said it was actually exactly what he wanted. It's just too small, so no worries there. 31 bucks. It's pretty nice, and most people will pass that, but lamb's wool is popular, especially with your old LL Bean stuff. Next was another hoodie. This is an Outlaw Monster Truck hoodie. I'll throw some pictures up here. Nothing crazy. A lot of these are just made on like jersey hoodies, but it has a nice graphic print. This one actually sold for $25. I'm pretty happy with that as well. Got a lot of big stuff to ship out. It's the only thing that like starts eating your money away. It makes you sad when you see just $7, $7. It's wearing you out. This is a Talbot's cable knit turtleneck sweater. This sold for $19, which is probably pretty cheap. I don't pick up a lot of Talbots, but I've been trying to experiment a little bit more with some of their lines. It is a pretty good brand. It is pretty expensive new, so definitely keep an eye out on it. And the cable knit is always popular, especially the polo, Ralph Lauren. You can get the cable knit, you're doing well. Next is a normal t-shirt. This is a grunt style t-shirt. It's a fire department special. This is a shirt that got released probably 3 years ago. I used to own a retail business as well as a wholesale business, and I used to wholesale grunt style for a long time. They ended up signing a contract with one company, and they got rid of all the other vendors that were selling their products. They made it to where you couldn't sell it online anymore. They got really silly about it. So I sold as much as I could in one of my storefronts, and then I still had some few remainders left, and this was one of them. And this was a fire department special, so that's kind of why it didn't sell probably in my retail storefront. But it's still sold online. I still have a couple more I got to get rid of. But next was a Harley Davidson shirt. This one's just a big eagle on the front, Marion, Illinois. Nothing crazy. This one actually has the tag cut out too, and I listed it with that. Usually I don't mess with them too much unless they're in really good shape with the tag on, because the tag is way more important on used clothing than I would have ever probably guessed. As a younger person, I always cut the tags on my shirt. I hate them rubbing on my neck and stuff. But selling shirts, it's way easier if the tag's on there. Just for future reference. The next one here is just another super cheap one. It's a Lucky Brand Triumph. Y'all probably seen these shirts around. They're still selling them, I'm sure, in the mall. But these are just cheap little shirts. I picked it up. It's got decent little print on it. It's nice. Sold it for $10 plus shipping. So I'm cool with that. Like shirts, generally I don't pay more than $2. Some of the thrift stores around here charge more than that, significantly more, but I won't pick them up off their racks, only if they're in their clearance or like thrift section. I don't pay full price for t-shirts. I buy them when they're super cheap, or I don't buy them just because I haven't been selling as many as I was hoping. The next one here is another Harley Davidson shirt. So if you see the trend, it's Harley Davidson shirts are doing pretty well right now. This was an all over print. It's not the vintage all over print. If you can find a vintage all over print, then you're probably doing pretty well. You might be able to, pay a utility bill with the money from it. Or if you find a really nice older one, you might be able to pay a car note with it. But this one's pretty simple. It's got the tag attached still. This is a Paducah, Kentucky, so it's a local shirt, but it's got a nice all over print with an eagle on it. And all over prints are popular right now, whether they're vintage or not. The vintage definitely will help and increase your sales though, and get you top dollar for the items. I gotta keep raising my chair up. You guys think something's wrong with me. I'm getting shorter and shorter. Promise, I'm 6 foot tall even. All right, so next one is Rockin' Republic. It's a gothic kind of purple faded pants. Rockin' Republic. So I actually picked these up a while back, and they sold. I got an offer for $8, and I just accepted it. And I'll tell you why. These have a few little of the stretch spots on the jeans themselves, and they're Rockin' Republic, which is a generically cheaper brand. Now I picked these up out at a thrift store, and I probably paid $4 for them or something, more than I should have, because I was having a brain fart that day, and I kept thinking Rock Revival and Rock Republic. For some reason I was getting it confused in my head. I thought these were Rock Revival, but they're Rockin' Republic, and Rockin' Republic does not do very well. But they do have a lot of gothy, weird brands. They might sell them at Hot Topic. I don't know where it even is sold at. But next is a Dynasty baseball jersey. This is a local to me kind of thing. I find a lot of Cardinals jerseys, a lot of University of Kentucky jerseys, and I just pick them up. If they're in good, clean shape, I'm going to buy them, and I'm going to list them. I haven't been selling that many, but hopefully this is a start to a new trend. So we'll see how the baseball jerseys keep going now. I sold 2 over the weekend. I'm pretty happy about that. And that is all of my sales this weekend so far. Now, since I've stopped doing the auto offer, I am definitely more active sending offers, which makes me feel better. I'm at least seeing the results of the customers finding my store and stuff. But my sales have dramatically increased, and I'll try to throw some little snippets up. Hopefully I'll find some good ones to show you guys. But my impressions went up when I raised all my stuff, and then it's been dropping back down like this, and my sales went down, and then they stayed down, and now they're going back up again. So it's kind of crazy. I really think it was the automated offers. Just based off the history here, my sales month over month are down 20%, based off the last few weeks. Week over week, I'm down like 80%. Day over day is like 80%. Pretty significant change, just I think for having the automated offers and not sending them out quickly enough. And also I noticed my page views have went up too since I've taken it off. So I don't know if when I'm sending out offers, more people are clicking back on the pages and looking at it to look at the item. Maybe they don't look at the item first before they watch it. I'm not sure exactly, but dramatic difference. And it was a pretty big mistake on my part with the automated. I should have read into it more, but I'm sure some of you guys are probably doing the exact same thing, and that's why I wanted to put this out there and give you the leg up that I wish somebody gave me. I appreciate it very much, and I'll see you guys next time.